Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatai Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. All the kids together, raise your hands high up. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So with that, we welcome you all for another session of Bhagavata, and would like to thank our other two speakers who were conducting the sessions on Mahabharata for the last 4 days. His Grace Anashesh Prabhu and our Shadhan Prabhu, who I guess for the last 4 days they conducted sessions for you on Mahabharata. So we'll continue with our theme that we are discussing. We are kind of going through the overview and the sequence of events in Mahabharata. And we are on Vana Parva, which is said to be the biggest and the longest section of Mahabharata. And last time we discussed how Arjuna, on the request of Srila Vyasadeva, Vyasadeva had informed Yudhishthira Maharaj that you should prepare for the war. This is the time you should go and acquire celestial weapons. And Vyasadeva gave the mantra to Yudhishthira Maharaj, and Yudhishthira Maharaj gave that mantra to Arjuna. And Arjuna, by chanting the mantra, he could, the power of the mantra was such that a person, whoever chants the mantra, can actually run at the speed of mind. Like that, very quickly he ascended to the heaven. He met Lord Shiva, God Pashupati Astra, and then many other devtas came and gave him celestial weapons. And then finally, Indra's charioteer, Maithili, came to bring Arjuna to the heaven. And then Arjuna went to heaven and he lived for quite a few years, where he got the training on how to use celestial weapons like that. So we discussed all that episode. So right now, Arjuna is still in heaven with Indra. He is learning the art of how to use celestial weapons. So let's see what happened with Pandavas when they were on earth. So before concluding last time, we saw how Pandavas began to climb towards the Himalayas because they were becoming more and more eager to meet Arjuna. And they knew Arjuna had walked towards the Himalaya, and from Himalayas he has ascended to heaven. So they were thinking, let's try to go as close as we can go, so that when Arjuna comes back to earth, we can meet him as quickly as possible. So last time we concluded our discussion where Pandavas had reached Badrinath at the eternal abode of Narayan Rishi, and they are camping, or they're staying in an ashram under the huge Badri tree, which had been existing there since the Satya Yuga time. Narayan Rishi had performed tapasya there like that. So now Pandavas are staying in such a beautiful place of Badrinath, in the assembly, in the association of sages. So one day, Yudhishthira Maharaj, Nakul Sahadev had gone to forest to find fruits and berries like this. And Draupadi was sitting by herself in the hermitage when she saw something incredible. She saw 1,000-petaled lotus, which she saw for the first time in her life, a very, very beautiful lotus flowing downstream in Alaknanda. Alaknanda is a river which comes directly from a heaven. So she saw and actually they were informed by the sages that Pandavas do not try to go above Badrinath, because after Badrinath comes the mountain of Gandhamadan mountain, which is actually not part of earth, but it's a celestial realm, and where the gods, particularly Yakshas, and the king of Yakshas, Kuvera, lives. So please do not try to go there. So here, Draupadi saw this one celestial lotus coming, descending from the heaven in Alaknanda river stream. And when she saw that, she was so mystified looking at the beautiful lotus. And then she requested Bhima, can you please get me some of these lotuses? They are so special. I want to make a garland for Yudhishthira Maharaj. And Bhima had a particular affection, had a special affection for Draupadi because Bhima could not forget how Draupadi had been insulted in the assembly. So Bhima would always think how he can please Draupadi so she can forget about the insult she had to undergo on the hands of the Kaurava. And particularly Arjuna, who was a favorite of Draupadi, wasn't there for several years. So Draupadi anyways was sad. So as soon as Draupadi asked, Bhima said, can you please get me lotus flower? Bhima immediately got up, although he was told not to climb up, not to go to the abode of the guards. Bhima said, don't worry, Draupadi, I will not get you one. I will get you a whole bunch of lotuses, as many as I can carry in my hands without destroying them. I will go right now and come back. And like that, promising Draupadi, Hanuman began, Bhim began to charge upwards, and he's running up the hill. And he's running with such a speed, he's running so fast and furiously that just by his speed, just because of his speed of running, the nearby trees are literally getting uprooted from the ground. He's causing havoc in the mountain. He's causing destruction in the forest, which is there up on the mountain. And when the lions, the tigers, the elephant, and the bears, when they saw Bhim running towards them, they got so frightened. Can you imagine? The lions and the elephants and the bears are getting frightened of a human, and they are running away in different directions when they saw Bhim coming. Like that, Bhim was charging up the upstream, trying to find out from where this 1,000-petal lotus is coming. And suddenly, he was about to reach that lake when he came across an old monkey lying on his way. Bhima became very angry. Bhima told to that monkey was old. He said, hey, old monkey, please get out of my way. I have no time. I'm in a hurry. I need to go fast. And the monkey said, oh, sorry, Bhim. No, not sorry, Bhim. He doesn't know who that was. He said, sorry, I'm very old. I cannot move myself. Why don't you jump over my body? And Bhima said, if I could have jumped over your body, I could have jumped long ago. But because, very important point, this is a point of etiquette, so kids should pay attention. We should never ever cross anyone. We should not ever jump over the body. Why? Bhima tells to the monkey, I am not jumping over your body for one reason. And what is that one reason? Does anyone know? Let's try a little exercise. I'm enabling the chat option for all of you. Does anyone know why we should not jump over another person's body? And here, when that old monkey said, why don't you jump over my body? Bhima said, no, I cannot jump over your body. Does anyone know what was the reason? Why did Bhima say, no, I cannot jump over the body? Yes, it's an offense. Well, it's an offense. What's the reason of offense? It's a sin. No, good. Shreyaditi and Nanda. Okay, all right. You don't have to start a war on your chat. I got it. I'll pause the chat window. I saw your answers. So yes, Bhima said to this monkey, actually, the Lord as Paramatma resides in the heart of every living entity. If I cross over your body, means I'm crossing over Paramatma. I'm crossing over the Supreme Lord. It would be a great offense. If it was not because of this etiquette, I would have jumped over your body long ago. Don't you think that I have that power? My elder brother Hanuman, he could, for his service, he could jump over the massive ocean and jump across 100 yojanas to go and find about Mother Sita. Do you think his younger brother Bhima would have any difficulty jumping over your body? Not at all. Just because of etiquette, I'm not jumping. So I warn you, please move your body or else it will not be good. So the monkey said, oh, okay, all right. Don't get angry. But you said Hanuman? Who is that Hanuman? You said there was some Hanuman who jumped over the ocean, 100 yojanas? How is it possible? Can you please tell me about Hanuman? So Bhima said, what? You don't know about Hanuman? How dare you call yourself a monkey? Hanuman in Treta Yuga was the best of the Vanara. He was the best of the Vanara in the whole army of Lord Ram, who single-handedly jumped over the whole ocean, 100 yojanas, without fear, went onto the abode of Ravana, that is Lanka, found out about Mother Sita and burnt whole Lanka and came back. And I am the brother of that great Hanuman. And don't underestimate, I am equally powerful as that Vayuputra Hanuman. I am also Vayuputra and my name is Bhima. So I warn you, no more talk, I'm getting late. Get off my way. And the old monkey said, okay, I am afraid. All right, I'll get off my way, but I have no strength. Why don't you, because my tail is coming on the way, why don't you lift my tail and put it aside? So that time Bhima began to think, this seems to be a little suspicious. Looks like this monkey is trying to fool with me. So Bhima thought, maybe who knows, this monkey is a Rakshasa who has disguised himself as a monkey and he's waiting for an opportunity to attack me. So Bhima, with all precaution, or I would say with all caution, he walked towards the tail of the monkey and very casually he put his left hand beneath the tail of the monkey and he thought, I will lift this monkey with my left hand and I will swirl him so fast that until this monkey reveals his true identity, I would not leave him. So with that intention, Bhima put his left hand underneath the tail very casually because Bhima has a strength of 1,000, 10,000 elephants. He's very powerful. And you know, this is just an old monkey. When Bhima was coming up, elephants, tigers, the bears, they were running out of fear of Bhima. So what is this monkey? He put his left hand underneath the tail of the monkey. My goodness, Bhima tried. He could not. He put his second hand, the right hand, he tried. With all his might, he sat down on the ground and he's trying to lift the tail. Now with the pressure of both hands, with the knees on the ground, and literally shoulder on the ground, he's trying to lift. Bhima is sweating, he's panting, but not by an inch. Bhima is able to move the tail of the monkey, and then Bhima realized this is not an ordinary monkey. With folded hands, he fell on the ground and he prayed, who are you? Are you a god? Are you some celestial being? Are you a great rishi who has more power than I? I surrender unto you. Please forgive me for my offense. Kindly reveal your identity, who you are. And that's the time the old monkey reveals, I am the Vayuputra. I am the son of Anjana. I am the great warrior, the great servant of Lord Ram. My name is Hanuman. And when Bhima heard that that's none other than Hanuman, he fell at the feet of Hanuman and began to cry because finally he got to meet his elder brother. And then happened a very beautiful discussion between Bhima and Hanuman. And then Bhima requested Hanumanji, Hanumanji, can you please show me the form with which you jumped over the ocean? So Hanumanji said, Bhima, I'm very pleased. I'm very happy to meet you. You are a chastiser of enemies and I bless you. Your mission, you're going up on the celestial abode to get the lotuses. I bless you, your mission would be fulfilled. Any blessings you want from me? So Bhima said, yes, I want to see your form that you took while jumping across the ocean. Please show me that form. And Hanumanji said, what? No, Bhima, I cannot show you that form. So Bhima said, why not? And then Hanumanji said, Bhima, you have to understand that I had shown that form in Treta Yuga. There are 4 yugas. Second important point for all of you from today's session. And what is that? There are 4 yugas beginning with Satya, Treta, Dwapar, and Kali Yuga. And with, as the yugas goes by, as the period increases, Hanumanji said, Bhima asked, oh, if that's the case, can you please explain me the characteristics of each age? Because you're saying you cannot show me what had happened in Treta Yuga and Dwapar Yuga because the strength and the abilities are different now. So Hanumanji said, yes. As the time passes by from Satya to Treta to Dwapar and Kali Yuga, people become more and more weaker, more and more feeble in their strength. They become less and less intelligent. As we have already discussed, Vyasadeva, when he understood that Kali Yuga is about to begin, so he decided to write down because people would not have a memory to learn all the scriptures. So Hanumanji told Bhima, so now in Dwapar Yuga, the humans are very small as compared to the humans in Treta Yuga. Similarly, the power of humans in Dwapar Yuga is far lesser than in the Treta Yuga. I cannot show you that huge form that I had taken. However, Bhima still insisted. But in that course of time, when Hanumanji was talking to Bhima, he also told about the features of Kali Yuga. And he said in Kali Yuga, people are very weak-minded because Kali Yuga is about to start, because that was the end of Dwapar Yuga, when the whole fight of Kurukshetra and everything had happened. So Hanumanji explained the qualities of Kali Yuga also, and he said people would be short in height, their lifespan would be less, they will have a very poor intelligence, poor memory, and they would not be able to follow dharma. Like that, Hanumanji taught Bhima. And here I have a verse for all of you. This is your homework verse, very important verse that comes in Srimad Bhagavatam, which talks about the symptoms of Kali Yuga. Okay, I'll recite this mantra so you know what's a meter. And this is from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, first chapter, verse number 10. Prayena alpa ayusha sabhya kalava asmin yuge janaha mandas mandamatiya mandabhagya hi updrutaha. And this is Sutta Goswami speaking to the sages at Naimisharanya. And he says, O learned one, in this Iron Age, which means the Kali Yuga, what are the features of man? First of all, they will have a short life. Prayena alpa. Unka जीवन बहुत कम रहेगा. Dusra, manda. They will be lazy. They will not like to work. They would prefer to sleep. They are lazy people. Second, they will be misguided. They will not know what is right, what is wrong. Third, they would be quarrelsome. For small, small things, they will get angry and they would like to debate and they would like to fight. Above all that, they will be unfortunate. Nothing good will happen in their life. And the last, always disturbed. You see this photo here? Interesting photo. Just like this, everyone's head will always be burning with fire, with anger, frustration. And that is what our scripture says about the characteristics of Kali Yuga. So like this, Hanumanji taught Bhima about the characteristics of 4 yugas when Bhima had asked him. And after explaining the characteristics, Bhima still asked, Hanumanji, I know whatever is the condition, you can still show me that form that you have taken, because no condition of time holds true for you. You're beyond that. Please. So Hanumanji, being finally pleased by the request of Bhima, finally showed that huge, massive form that Hanumanji had taken before jumping off across the ocean and to reach Lanka. And after this, Hanumanji came back to his regular form. Bhima was very pleased, and then Hanumanji blessed. He said, Bhima, I bless you that you will be victorious in the war with Kauravas. And not only that, I promise you that I will accompany you in the war. There are 2 ways Hanumanji said to Bhima that I will accompany you in the war in the war of Kurukshetra. I have enabled the chat for the kids. Do you know what are the 2 ways Hanumanji had promised Bhima that he will appear in the battle? He would be present along with the Pandavas in the battle of Kurukshetra. What are the 2 ways? One is Arjuna's flag. Yes. Arjuna's flag, correct. And yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. And shouts of Bhima. Yes, thank you. I'll disable the chat again. Thank you for your eagerness to get onto the chat messages. I like it. So Hanumanji said, I would be present in the war on the flag on Arjuna's chariot. And whenever you would roar, you will give a war scream, Bhima. My roaring would also be there along with your roaring that will shatter the hearts of the enemies. Like this, Hanumanji blessed Bhima, and then Bhima continued his journey upwards to reach to that celestial abode from where the lotuses were coming down the stream. So Bhima climbed up further and finally reached a celestial place. Very, very beautiful place. Bhima was amazed looking at the beauty of that place with the fragrant flowers, incredible trees, beautiful environment, and very pleasing breeze. And there he saw a huge pond filled with unlimited amount of thousand petal lotus. And when Bhima saw that, he was so pleased. He saw so many lotuses. I can take as many as I want. And as soon as he climbed down into the lake, suddenly he heard a loud sound. Stop! And Bhima was like, who dared to tell me to stop? And he looked behind and he saw hundreds and thousands of Rakshasas uh, guarding that lake. And they said, Bhima, we know who you are, whose brother you are, we know everything about you. We respect you who you are, but this is the lake of Kuvera, the king of Yakshas. Nobody is allowed to enter this lake without the permission of Kuvera. If you want to enter this lake, go get permission of Kubera, otherwise you have no right. Please go back. And Bhima said, who the hell are you to tell me? Bhima is a Kshatriya. He doesn't like somebody telling him what to do, not to do. He said, who are you to tell me what to do? These are the gifts of the Lord. Kubera has not made the pond. Kubera has not made the lotuses. This all belongs to Lord. If Kubera has a right on the Lord's property, how come I don't have the right? It all belongs to Lord, so I'm going to take it. And Bhima entered the lake, and Rakshasas won, and then began a fight. A massive, massive fight between Bhima and hundreds and thousands of Rakshasas who had surrounded Bhima from all over, and they're throwing their clubs, darts, arrows, whatnot, whatever weapons. And Bhima single-handedly is crashing all the weapons, and not only the weapons, but also the Rakshasas who were fighting. In the meantime, you know, there's something called as omen. Omen means indication. I hope you understand the word omen. Omen means indication. You know, sometimes maybe you might have experienced, sometimes your right eye or the left eye, it just continue to blink, what not blink actually. What's the word actually? Anyways, I'm missing the word. So sometimes your left hand begins to shake, or sometimes there is a little sensation in right leg or something. So there are different indications. So Yudhishthira Maharaj back at Badrinath, he has no clue where Bhimsen is. Nobody knows where Bhimsen is. And Yudhishthira Maharaj, when he comes back to Hermitage, he saw bad omens, bad indications. And he looked around and he said, oh, it doesn't look like this is the right indication. It looks like somebody's life is in danger. And then immediately Yudhishthira Maharaj began to count his brothers. Nakul, 1, Sahadev, 2, Draupadi, my wife, 3rd. Hey, where is Bhimsen? Bhima is not visible. Where is Bhimsen? And Yudhishthira Maharaj got worried because he knew, our Bhimsen is very powerful. He is the greatest of all, but he's also too restless. He cannot sit peacefully at one place. And Yudhishthira Maharaj was worried that the sages had warned all of us. Yudhishthira had warned Bhima. Ahead above in the sky on the mountain is a city of the gods. Do not go and unnecessarily cause trouble to them, otherwise all of us life would be in danger. And then Bhima, Yudhishthira asked Nakul, Sahadev, the sages, Hanuman, and Lamas, everyone. Nobody had any clue. Then Yudhishthira approached Draupadi and he asked, Draupadi, do you know? Draupadi said, well, I saw 1,000 petal lotus and I told Bhima, can you get me? And Bhima went running up the mountain. So it looks like he entered the city of God. Yudhishthira was shocked. He, along with his brothers, immediately ran behind the path taken by Bhima, along with the help of Ghatotkacha. They reached with a very short time with the help of Ghatotkacha, because he could fly, the son of Bhima. He reached the top of the mountain, Gandhamadan mountain, more or less that same mountain, and they saw Bhima fighting with hundreds and thousands of Rakshasas, and he's slaughtering each one of them. And when Yudhishthira reached there, he was shocked. He went over to Bhima, and Bhima was covered with blood, he was injured and whatnot. And Yudhishthira went to Bhima and he embraced him. And then he said, oh, son of Kunti, what have you done? Be blessed. But if you wish to do good to me, then you should never again be so rash as to offend the celestials. In other words, Yudhishthira was chastising Bhima. Why are you so restless? Why did you come and fight with the celestials for no reason? Why you have to unnecessarily create troubles like this? So Bhima was very ashamed. He put his head down, thinking that, oh, I should not have unnecessarily killed so many Rakshasas. But what is my fault? They attacked me. In the meantime, Yakshasas, they knew who Yudhishthira Maharaj, because Yudhishthira, Bhima, they are not ordinary sons. They are the sons of the gods. So Yakshasas knew who is Yudhishthira. He is Dharmaraj himself. So they all offered respect, and they said, okay, all right. Yudhishthira Maharaj came forward and he said, please, I seek forgiveness on behalf of my brother. To all of you, kindly forgive him, and I promise you he will not trouble. So because Yudhishthira Maharaj promised, all the Rakshasas and the Yakshasas backed off. And they said, okay. At that point of time, Yudhishthira Maharaj, when he came there, that place was so beautiful, so pleasing. So Yudhishthira Maharaj asked the Yakshasas, can we all stay here for some time? And they gave permission. So like that, the Pandavas, the Draupadi and others were brought up, and they began to live, which was like a celestial abode up on that mountain. And like that, they were spending their life until one day. An interesting demon by the name of Jatasura. Now, Jatasura was actually one of the Brahmanas in the assembly of sages which were accompanying Pandavas from the beginning of the time. Now, he was a demon who had disguised himself in the form of Brahmana, and the Pandavas knew who he was. But he had promised Pandavas that he has changed his habit, and I have come here to assist you and be with all of you all through your journey. And Yudhishthira Maharaj trusted. However, this demon or a Brahmana by the name of Jatasura always had his intention to steal all the weapons of the Pandavas, steal the Pandavas' brothers, or kidnap along with Draupadi. Particularly, he wanted to kidnap Draupadi because Draupadi was very, very beautiful. So he was always looking for an opportunity to kidnap Draupadi. So one day an opportunity came where Bhima had gone to the forest by himself, and there was no one else to protect the Pandavas, particularly Yudhishthira, Nakul, Sahadev, and Draupadi, because the strongest among all of them were Bhima. And when Jatasura saw that this is an opportunity for me to kidnap all of them, he took his original form and he became huge like a mountain. Everyone was shocked. And he lifted Pandavas, all the three brothers, Yudhishthira, Nakul, Sahadev, with his one hand, and he lifted Draupadi with his another hand, and he began to run away from the ashram. Yudhishthira Maharaj was shocked. Yudhishthira Maharaj said, Jatasura, are you gone crazy? What have you done? Although you have cultivated so much piety by being a Brahmana, but you're going back to your demonic ways. It is not good for you. You know, when Bhima gets to know, he will kill you. And Jatasura was already crazy by then. He was laughing. He said Bhima would never get to know. But long story short, it's a beautiful episode that happens. Bhima got to know, Bhima came, and there was a big, massive fight between this Jatasura and Bhima. And finally, Bhima killed Jatasura and rescued the three Pandavas brothers and also Draupadi. After that, they went back to the place of Badrinath. They came down and they stayed there for a good amount of time, waiting for Arjuna to descend. And then, after staying in Badrinath for quite a long time, they thought, let us walk higher. Let us walk closer to the abode of the gods. We cannot wait anymore for Arjuna to descend. We all are hankering for his association. We are eager for his descent. So they decided to walk on the other side of Gandhamadan mountain, which is beyond the Himalayan range. So they began to walk there. So what had happened? Yudhishthira Maharaj, when he had reached, Bhima had gone on top of the mountain when he was fighting with the army of Kuvera. So when Yudhishthira Maharaj had reached there, Yudhishthira Maharaj had requested for an audience with Kuvera. So the Yakshasa said, well, you cannot meet Kuvera from this side of the mountain. You have to go down at Badrinath and then again climb in another direction. And from there, you will come on the other side of Gandhamadan mountain. There, when you come, we'll arrange a meeting with Kubera. So that's the reason Pandava's brother came down. And now, after spending some time at Badrinath, they began their arduous journey where they crossed Mount Kailash and many other great mountain peaks. And finally, they reached the foothills of Gandhamadan mountain, which was the end point of the highest peak of Himalayan range, beyond which the celestial abode began. So I will just pause with the story. I'll just take 2-3 more minutes and give you more details about the story, what happens there. It's a very, very beautiful sight. So when all the Pandavas reached there, there was a monastery of the Rishi, a very, very great saint by the name of Parva. He had a beautiful hermitage up on the top of a mountain, and beyond that mountain was a celestial abode. So when all the Pandava brothers minus Arjuna reached there along with Sage Dhaumya and Lomasa and others, so the Rishi warned the Pandavas, "You're very welcome to come and live with us here, but I warn you, do not ever leave my ashram. I will provide for everything for your need, but do not leave the ashram, because beyond this ashram, the boundary for celestial beings starts, and they're very, very powerful. And if you cross into their boundary and you do anything, they will come down to us and they'll punish us all. So I warn you not to face any trouble." So Pandavas, when they reached at the monastery of Rishiparva, they felt as if that itself is a heaven. Such a beautiful, such a peaceful environment, and like that they began to live there. They lived there for some time. However, and they almost lived for 1 year on the monastery of Rishiparva. However, Draupadi had heard the narrations of the celestial abodes, because for 1 year they were hearing from Lomasa, they were hearing about the lives of the great kings and also the heaven and so forth. So Draupadi heard about the beauty of the heavenly planets. And now they're right at the entry gate of the heavenly planet. So that time Draupadi instigated Bhima. And she said, "Bhima, agar Arjuna yahan pe hota, if Arjuna was here by now, he would have easily taken me to the celestial abode and given me a tour. But what to do? Arjuna is not here. But Bhima, you are not less powerful than Arjuna. If you can go and find a way how to go up to the abode of the celestial beings, then I would like to come with you, and please show me that place. I'm very eager to see that." And when Draupadi spoke like this to Bhima, Bhima became very instigated. He became very angry. He said, "What do you think? I will go right now. I will go and find the way to the heaven, or way to the celestial abode." And Bhima found his way through the creeks and the narrow passage, and he climbed up the mountain and reached to the abode of the celestial beings. And when he reached to the abode of the celestial being, he saw an incredible palace of Kuvera and of the celestial beings, but being guarded by hundreds and thousands of Yakshasas and Rakshasas. And when Bhima reached there, the Yakshas and Rakshasas saw that some mortal being had come up there, and they lifted their weapon and they threatened him to go away or face death. And when Bhima saw that these Yakshasas are challenging him, he had his conch. He took out his conch and he blew the conch. Blowing the conch means get ready for the war. When Kshatriya would blow a conch, that's the meaning. But when you come to an ISKCON temple and a Brahmana blows a conch, that means get ready for the darshan of the Lord. There's a difference. So Bhima blew his conch, and simultaneously there was a war cry by the Yakshasas and Rakshasas, and began another set of a massive fight. Yudhishthira Maharaj had warned Bhima not to be restless and not to fight. The sages have warned him, do not unnecessarily go and take panga. But Bhima is forced what to do. He has his conditioning. He cannot, is anyways full with a lot of anger because of what Kauravas did to Draupadi and what Kauravas did to all the brothers. And whenever he saw an opportunity, he always took that opportunity to warm up his muscles. And there began a very, very massive fight between the Yakshasas and the Bhima. And they were crying, they were screaming. And at the ashram below, all the sages, Yudhishthira Maharaj, everyone could hear what is going on. And that's the time Yudhishthira Maharaj said, "Oh, looks like there is a great fight going above on the heaven, but who is fighting?" And then he looked amongst his family members. Nakul 1, Sahadev 2, Draupadi 3. What happened to the fourth one? Where is Bhima? Oh no! Has Bhima gone up on the celestial planet? Is he fighting? Yudhishthira Maharaj was so sad. And then he again went up the mountain and he saw Bhima single-handedly is killing hundreds and thousands of Yakshas and Rakshasas. At that point of time, the commander or chief of Kuvera's army, whose name was Hanuman. He came there and Bhima killed single-handedly the commander and chief of Kuvera, Hanuman. And when Hanuman was killed, all the Yakshas, they got scared and they ran away from the battle. At that point of time, Yudhishthira Maharaj came again, embraced Bhima, and he told Bhima, Bhima, what did you do? We are living in Kuvera's kingdom domain, and you have offended Kuvera by killing so many of his soldiers and also the commander in chief, the great Hanuman. Such behavior is unworthy of you. How can you act like this? And again, Bhima put his head down. Okay, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. And this Maharaj is so sad, and all the brothers are now waiting what's going to happen. In the meantime, all the soldiers went to Kuvera and complained. Kubera called for his chariot. He climbed to the chariot. Kubera is very angry. He came on the spot. And when he came on the spot, he saw all the Pandava brothers. Of course, Arjuna is not there. So Kubera's anger turned into a smile. Kuvera was angry. He wanted to kill Bhima, but when he came and he saw Yudhishthira Maharaj, Bhima, and Nakul and Sahadev, Kuvera became extremely blissful, and Kuvera did not chastise. Why did Kuvera did not chastise Bhima? Kuvera had come prepared to fight and kill the Pandavas, but as soon as he came there, somehow Kuvera got completely pacified of his anger, and he said, Bhima, you are indeed a great warrior. You are meant to do the work of the gods. I am not at all angry with you. Why Kuvera was not angry anymore with Bhima? What happened? All that we shall discuss tomorrow when we meet. For the time being, I will pause here. Of course, there are many other adventures of Bhima that will continue tomorrow, as I could not complete all that today. And we'll see that. We'll see first why Kuvera was not angry. Although Kuvera was angry, suddenly how did he become pacified? And then what happened next to the Pandavas? And finally, when did Arjuna came? And when Arjuna came, what happened then? What did Pandavas do? Did they live up on the celestial abode, or they came back to the planet Earth? And if they came back to planet Earth, what happened next? All that is a part of Vana Parva, and we shall discuss everything more and more details about it tomorrow when we meet. So thank you so much for your kind attention, all the kids. Happy to be able to join you all again. So I will give you the right to speak up, or in case if you have any question to ask.